anyway.
Let me ask you a question. You telling me in your household, right? Something breaks.
I'm talking about my household.
No, this is what you're saying though. This is what you're saying is going on in households.
Every other household but mine.
Let me just paint the picture for you. So
I don't like the picture.
Your toilet breaks, right?
Yeah,
your wife is not gonna say nothing to you. She's just gonna call a plumber and get the shit fixed. And like,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right. So what are we talking about, bro? That shit is not happening. Like in most households that have a man in the house, right? The woman's she's gonna be like, yo, that's you. You take care of that shit. You know what I mean? The same way, like if let's just say something like, yo, the kids gotta get their hair done or something. You got a daughter, she gotta get her hair braided. You ain't gonna be like, yo, I ain't gonna speak to my wife about this. Like, yo, she need her hair done. So I called her. You're gonna probably be like, yo, she getting her hair done, I'll pay for it or whatever. You're gonna take her to get her hair done, or you might take her, but you're going to conference with your wife about that, right? Because that's probably her thing, her department. It's one of her things. That's not your
nurturing.
Thing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
grooming.
We got this idea, this mindset in it, or not even a mindset, but we have this these images in our head is that like, yo, there's women doing a bunch of shit that they don't want to do, right? Unless we saying like women just don't want to do the normal I guess you could say more feminine tasks inside the house anymore. Because that's what it sounds like was being said, right? When
that's definitely he's
talking about. He's talking about like, oh, it seems like slavery because all right, she got to work her job and she still has to do the stuff that she normally would do inside the house.
Yeah.
Right. But all of us live in a society where we want things. We look at social media, we see what everybody else has, so we want everything. So even if I say as a man, yo, let's just live off my income, right? Give me a good 3 to 5 years. Let me get my shit straight. I'm making this now. I feel like if I do this, that, and the third, I can make more money, right? You don't have to worry. Just take care of the kids. All right, right now we might be here, but yo, you give me a few years, 3 to 5 years, I'll save up the money. We can buy a crib. We be all right, right? But that shit is not happening. That shit is not happening because everybody feels like, all right, you got to have this, that, and the third to represent the bar of success. And most people feel like I can't reach that bar of success by myself. I need a running mate. I need a partner. I need that income. I need a chick that brings something to the table financially. But I feel like if we put men their back against the wall, and we put them in a position where they have to figure some shit out and they got to provide for their families, a lot of dudes is going to make it happen. Some, I ain't going to say all will be successful. Some will fail, but you put that pressure on most men, they're going to figure some shit out and they're going to make some shit happen.
Here's a question that kind of, all right, here. What do you feel about homeschooling? I hear a lot of men saying that they would want their wives to homeschool their children if they're home full time. That's like housewives. Where do you fall with that?
I don't know. Like, see, that sounds like I don't know. When you say it, it makes me feel like dudes are saying like, oh, well, you don't do much, so let me add this task so I can feel like you're doing some shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you truly believe that your wife could teach them kids better than like, or teach the curriculum of the school better than the teachers can, all right, then all right, be my guest, do it. But if my wife is not a teacher and that's not her bag, that's not what she does, like, why I'm gonna put that on her when I have somebody else that's totally capable of doing the job 100%, and that's what they do. That's what they're an expert at. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give my wife some additional tasks just because it's like, all right, well, you home, I'm carrying everything, and you don't got to do nothing. So here's some extra shit for you to do to for you to earn your keep.
What is she doing when she's home? If she doesn't have to work,
I don't know.
You get put in a rock.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's a lot of shit that they. Well, all right, they cook, they clean, they make sure the kids are good. They do the scheduling for the kids, activities. You know, it's a bunch of shit that needs to be done. Definitely fill up a daily, like a daily a work day, an 8-hour work day, or even 10-hour work day.
Yeah.
What?
Nah, it sounds like a bunch of nothing to me, but that's all right.
What you mean a bunch of nothing?
It sounds like regular shit. It sounds like shit that they was gonna do anyway. You know, listen, I don't believe in to get to the actual conversation. 50-50. When I say heavy lifting, I don't believe in 50-50. I feel like you should take a load off financially, you know, and that allows her to play into her roles a lot better. And that's where it doesn't feel like slavery thing comes into play. When you got something with someone doing just as much as you, and then they're doing more for you at home, because let's keep it real. You just said they can fill up a whole schedule worth of work in a day if they were home. So if they're working a full, 40-hour work week and they're doing that, it is a little abusive. I feel like men should aspire to take a load off of their women's plate.
But how are you taking a load off her plate?
By handling some of the heavy lifting, like handling the heavy bills.
What does that matter though? Because she still got to work. She's still working the time.
She got to work, but she could hold some more money in her pocket. She doesn't have to work that hard.
Okay, no. What is that? Yeah. How does that make any sense though? Because the heavy lift, the what you call abuse, you said it's abusive, is the fact that she has to work a full work week, 40 hours,
and do all
yeah. So you're not stopping that. You having her still do that, but it's like, all right, you work that much, so you don't got your money. Don't
hold on to some of your money. Hold on to some of your money.
Why not just tell
hold on to some of your money? Hold on to some of your money. Everybody feels better when they have money in their pocket.
Why not just say, yo, you don't have to work? If you feel like that's
everybody
abuse,
would love to be there, Ron. Everybody would love to be there. You know what I mean? Eventually, one day.
You could do it then.
It's not going to be there.
No, if you're saying that, you could do it. Right. So let's just I'll use you for example, right? If you like a 70-30 type of guy, right? And you're going to let your wife only pay 30% of the bills and you pay 70% of the bills, right? Well, once you just tell her go part-time or go per diem. Because, all right, I think she would probably rather be able to not work.
Now that income is not there anymore. Now I got to make up that income. You know what I mean? Because that income is not even there. So you're not
abusing her anymore, though. She's not being abused. She's working less, and she's not abused. Because the money you can't, like, all right, so.
Let's keep it above, Ron. A lot of these, like, where are their part-time jobs at? Like, what are you saying? Like, you're making up situations now. Like you just going into human resources, y'all want to do half my job now?
Jobs?
No, there's no part. Like either you work or you don't. Either you work or you don't. Like, you could be a substitute teacher if you're like retired or something like that. But either you work or you don't. Like, I know we talking points. I know that we're on YouTube and we got part-time job. Like, what, you gonna go bag groceries 20 hours a week or something like that? Like, what are we doing here? Like, the woman has a job. She doesn't have to work overtime. She doesn't have to do anything extra. You know what I mean? Keeps the money in her pocket. She could go out with the kids on the weekend, use the money for her children, for herself, take care of herself, and everybody's happier for it. Until I could do 80-20 and I could do 90-10. And hopefully one day I could get to a full 100. But a lot of men aren't going to cold turkey.
Even when you making when you paying 100, she's still working, but she just get to keep all her money.
Now, hopefully, once we hit 100, it'll be a nice scenario if she could work for me, or if she could find, I would give her, a year or two, maybe even 3, to find her passion, find something that she wants to do, she could start a small business or do something and do something for herself. You know what I mean? That'd be the perfect situation.
Perfect doesn't exist in the world, right?
It doesn't.
So,
but perfect is for you. Perfect is whatever you make it.
Exactly, right? So usually it's not going to be exactly the way you want it to be, but I feel like 50-50, 70-30, if you're not taking over 100% of it and you're not sitting,
can't be that black and white, Ron. It can't be that.
I think it is that black and white.
It can't be that black and white.
Michelle Rose said, "Can you nurture a woman's femininity by allowing her not to work?"
I think that's the number one way to do it.
All right, so you're talking about like just letting her keep her money. Like she's still working, right? She's still getting like you called it abuse. She's still being abused, right? Where she has to work. She's working pretty much 80 hours a week, right? So even though you're letting her keep her money, like I don't think that really matters.
Wow, we live in the real world. We live in the real world. If you walk into the gym, if you walk into the gym today, right, and you're like, yo, I want to lift 3 plates, you're not gonna rack 3 plates on each side and just lift it overnight. You know what I mean? You're gonna do the 1 plate. You're gonna work your way up to that weight. You know what I mean? It's just like everything else in life. We work our way up to things if you want to do it comfortably. You know, like we want to maintain close to our same lifestyles, and we want to move up comfortably, and that's the perfect way to do it. I feel like you take more of a plate, you take on more responsibility until you could be like, yo, you know what? That's off the map. You go ahead. There's no part-time. There's no nothing. Because guess what? One day you might need that money if you fall a little flat, or you take a little step back. So it's not going to be cold turkey. Most responsible people who are the head of their household don't do irrational things like tell their wives to go quit their job so I could go freaking work 80 hours a week, like just to stroke my ego. Like we're gonna come up with a plan and we're gonna execute.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. But all I'm saying is that while you're executing that plan and you're taking on more of the obligations, you should decrease the amount of work that your wife puts in.
It's not
because you're the one that's saying it's abuse.
I can't send my wife to human resources and be like, yo, tell me you want to work 20 hours a week. They're gonna be like, yo, no, thank you. You know what I mean? Like there are no part-time jobs. Like, what are you gonna be, a Walmart greeter? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you like? What's kid jobs?
There are part-time jobs.